Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today, it's kind of windy outside, so I'm gonna build an antenna mount. And then when it's not so windy and not so rainy outside, I'm gonna go outside and use this antenna mount. You guys have seen these spikes before, where you have a regular hardware store tent stake or BAN, big nail, on a mirror mount clamp with a 3/8 24 stud on it. I am going to do some disassembly and some reassembly and come back with some magic. Sometimes when you go to parks, they don't like you sticking stuff in the ground. So I've got a solution for you. I was thinking that these 4 bolts here, they're just clamping onto this nail. What if I had these 4 bolts clamp onto something else? How about a clamp? This is going to be cool for a couple of reasons. This clamp here in particular, I can do the quick release that all the clamps can do, no problem. And you can clamp this to a car bumper, to an RV bumper, to a trailer frame, to a picnic table, to just about anything. But where it also gets even more interesting is this thing's kind of special. There we go. Because you put it on backwards on the other end. Almost did that wrong. And now, instead of squeezing things together, you can also squeeze things apart, so you can put this in between something to put your antenna up. Let me put this back the other way because I'm going to use it like this most often on my activations. Clamp it onto a picnic table or something. So my thought process is to put this up on the end of here, which is going to make it so that that switcheroo isn't easy for you. But you can also just as easily put it up this way, so you can hook it to a railing and have your antenna go up, instead of hooking it to a table or a bench and having your antenna go up. So it's very versatile either way. And now for the magic. And then this doesn't matter to anybody except for you and me, but you see how this curves out here at the top? If you take your bar and push it all the way up, it's going to be ever so slightly crooked because of that curve. So you can see what I did in there is I just made it flush with the top of the clamps. And then take your 4 bolts, you guys probably already know this, but take your 4 bolts and tighten them down a similar number of turns. Otherwise, one side will be really wide and one side will be really clamped, and it just won't look as good. Take pride in your work, right? Now I gotta go try this out. And in case these caught your eye and you're wondering what these things here are all about, this is, you guys, counterpoise, right? This is my counterpoise connection. I just use a single Anderson power pole to connect up to that. I've got 2 of these on here. I really don't need 2 of these. I should tighten that up while I got my tools out. I really don't need 2 of these, but just in case I wanted to. So what I do is I have this set up here, which is another Anderson power pole single, but it's got 4 wires attached to it. And this is that silicone wire that we use. It comes apart really easy. It spreads apart really easy to make your ground radials. So just put this in the bag and you are good to go. 4 ground radials and a vertical. There's about a million ways you can mount this thing. This is the front hitch mount on my truck. So we've got that mounted up. And no, I wouldn't drive like that, but for a quick activation in the park, there's my 17-foot whip. Relatively sturdy for what I'm trying to do. Hook up the ground radials. Let's see where else we can hook this thing. Little quick release on the back. Good to go. On the back side, one of the cool parts here is I don't even have to remove the tow hitch in order to get on. We're clamped on and we're ready to go. And then same thing, push the release button, the antenna releases. Ta-da! He wouldn't attach that to his motorcycle, would he? Sure I would. Quick clamp action to get it onto the motorcycle and we're good to go that way too. We got a little bit of lean. Maybe I'll get some DX off in that direction. Shooting over that hill over there, perfect. But if you know Hondas, you know this bike has a center stand, so I could actually get that thing standing straight up if I wanted to. You can already put a receiver mount into here and have that flagpole thing coming out to hold your mast, but this is just as quick. Hooked right up to the bumper there. And there's the antenna. Probably a bit of a problem with the aluminum siding. But what I'm doing is I'm sharing ideas here. Maybe you have an RV that doesn't have aluminum siding. But of course, if you don't have a hitch mount, you can also put it right on the front frame of the RV as well. So right up here with all of this stuff, this is my weight distribution hitch. my battery boxes, my propane tank, and there's my antenna sticking right up. Filming antennas is always so fun, but she's up there, if you can see her. Get a little contrast by coming out here to the front. And you can see it right behind the bikes over here. There we go, there's a little more contrast for you. Up into the clouds. I actually kind of like that setup. This picnic table has been sitting in the Arizona sun forever. It is starting to slowly return to nature. I know, let's put an antenna on it. Got a little bit of lean on it. Oop, that cracked. Okay, we're gonna improvise. For some reason, the bench itself is okay. There we go. If only that picnic table could be used for something else. And then when I was saying that you could rotate this 90 degrees to stand your antenna up like this here is what I had in mind. Maybe you can't find a vertical surface to clamp onto, but a horizontal surface to clamp onto would also work. I don't see why this wouldn't work with the pipe clamp mounts that come with the vertical antennas for 2 meters or 70 centimeters, you know, like the 8-foot tall ones, for some high gain 2 meter work. Pretty versatile setup. What do you guys think? You probably already have one of these. You probably already have one of these too. This one is the dipole mount, but they do make a single-sided mount. If you take this thing and turn it sideways, then you can use this as a dipole instead of just a monopole. I went with the 18-inch one because it seemed like it was a good length, but you can get these in smaller sizes or in bigger sizes. The real thing that you want to worry about is how much clamping space you need, and I needed 4 inches to 6 inches to clamp onto the bumper, which left me just a little bit of room for the antenna standoff from the bumper. So that's why I got the 18-inch one. I might go back and actually get a smaller one so that it fits inside of one of my Go boxes that I'm going to carry on the motorcycle, because I don't need an 18-inch tall clamp when I only need to clamp an inch or two onto the back rack there. If you don't have one of these, I gotcha. There will be links in the description down below to get you started on this simple, super easy antenna project. I am on a mission this year to reach 100,000 subscribers, and you can help. Right below the video, there is a subscribe button. Subscribing is free, and it helps me out and makes me feel really good if you click it, so I'd appreciate it. There's a video right over here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.